I'm actually really nervous, honestly.
Do you think we should, but like it probably can see the addresses, like you flipping it around and stuff?
Okay. This, I'm gonna cut it all out. This is a tube. It's a tube.
A tube.
With two pieces of art in it.
Mm-hmm.
2 pieces of art in it, and it's a collaboration, or it will be a collaboration between me and another artist. I'm gonna put her Instagram handle. I'm gonna take it out of the picture now. It's the artist is right here, somewhere right here, and yep. Enough with the awkward intros. We're just gonna pop this thing open and see what we're working with. I'm so nervous about opening this. Like, this is so nerve-wracking. We are here in the United States, by the way, and she sent this over from New Zealand, which is pretty sweet. And it took about, what do you think, 2 weeks to get here? Let's see. Oh, it's double layered, okay. This is so nervous.
Ruby wants to say hey.
Hey, Rube. We got a lead on it. Oh, it's like dusty. All right, there's bubble wrap.
Yes.
Oh, that's what we want to see right here. There is like a tiny, tiny crease in it. In the packaging, it got like creased. So hopefully we can work with this. Hopefully. It should be okay. Oh. All right. Oh, so it did get a little bit like mushed in transit, but that's, I mean, it's traveling across, how many miles is that? I think it's like 7,000 miles.
Yeah.
From here to New Zealand. It's a lot. So I mean, I kind of expect it to go through some dings, but we'll work with it. All right, so there's a note. Most important, have fun. That's key. In this whole thing, have fun. Play. Be willing to fail. Cloud dreaming. That's awesome. It's a nice little note, a nice little thing.
That is nice.
Baby, this is so nice. I love this. This is why I ask people to collaborate with me, because of like experiences like this. Like, you connect with people, and that's the idea. That's what social media is for. That's what creativity is for, to connect with people, and social media allows you to do it in ways that you couldn't otherwise, you know? I'm shaking so bad. All right, here we go. Let's just open it. Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's
gosh.
a humongous sheet of paper right here. Whew. Wow, okay. All right, let's see what we have. So so this is what she sent. Oh my goodness. Wowee. And unfortunately, again, there's like, it bent a little bit, but that's, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do this just yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like, the next time you see me is probably gonna be like sketching out some ideas, doing something, but I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it later. I just wanted to open it because I'm impatient. So we'll see what happens. Jumping right into this thing, I was obviously really nervous. This is the first time that I have successfully found someone willing to collaborate. So I started out with the light box and just a piece of paper sketching some ideas, and I quickly realized how I had to Google a reference. So went onto Pinterest, found me a reference, picked one out, and didn't copy it exactly, because I had an idea in my head. I just needed to get it fleshed out. Really, I needed that curve right there, that little curve right at the bottom of her head, before I was like on and going. So I used that, was pretty happy with the shape, and just kind of went with my own little design. Low-key based it off of Link, based on his hat. The hairstyle was, I just wanted to throw something on there. I was using some anime reference, some inspiration, but also at the same time doing my own thing. I know I'm not the greatest at hair, and so the fact that she left me with the hair was like really, really nerve-wracking. So of course, my initial thing was like, how about I just put a hat on her and avoid the whole thing? Like, no hair, and just, if I have to, I'll throw like some little strands of hair, and that's essentially my goal. Not my goal, but my approach. And also here's where I ran into quite some problems. Here's where I learned where using ink is very, very wet. And this piece of paper was just, it was just a ripped out piece of paper from a sketchbook. And that's cool, that's awesome. And if I would have put a little bit more forethought into it, maybe I wouldn't have used the bottle of ink like I did. Because it ended up buckling really bad. And which is okay. It almost like ripped through. I'm just glad that didn't happen. That would have been a travesty, I think. But here is where I'm using my Jelly Roll pen, and I was running into some more problems where it didn't show up so great on the parts with the paint. You know, like right there at her neck. It just didn't show up very well, so I had to go over it again and again and again. Just in the spots where like acrylic paint was there, so you know, it is what it is. But after the head, the face was finished, I kind of took the liberty to throw a background in there. And admittedly, it was rushed, it was sloppy, it was whatever. And what it was, the ultimate objective was to get it done quickly before I thought about it too much, before I just dive right in. Who cares about mistakes? Who cares about whatever? And you know, just take my standard approach to things. And it took me a while to get into it, but once I got into it, I made a couple mistakes. Like this right here is horrible. I hated it. I hated the way it looked and the thing I drew right next to it. But ultimately, I feel as if I learned something from this. The whole process, from unboxing, unraveling, you know, just the whole thing and you know, I use some methods, some techniques that I know that work, like the clouds and the trees and the just things, and I use some things that I don't necessarily know how to do or didn't, like this paint, like this watered down ink. And I learned a lot of things about the materials because I was trying to use new materials. My new fountain pen that I'm going to be doing a video on, which is cool. Just hang out for that and I'll get that done. I don't know actually which one I'll post first, the fountain pen review or this, who knows. But here is where I'm giving my little stamp. I'm putting my little stamp of inspiration on here. And check this out. There we go. Little Triforce here. Just to give some credit to the inspiration, you know what I mean? So I don't want to rip anybody off. I don't want to sit here and claim everything to be mine, but I did look at reference and I did use inspiration. So I want to give my little stamp of appreciation right there. But moving on, it's like I ended up cutting the one piece of paper into two 8x10 pieces, and I accidentally dropped a little drop of ink on the other one. So with this one that I learned, I went ahead and decided to go outside of the little box a little bit and make a mat. I made a mat out of a piece of watercolor paper and slapped some acrylic paint on there. I just come up with this wine maroon color, and then I ended up putting it in a frame, which is super cool. The color choice was, it is what it is. I made a mat, and this is the part where I was really, really having fun, because I love taking my final results, my final products, and framing them. And as you can see, like all this, it's buckled, and the paper even buckled a little bit. So I even decided to overnight stack a bunch of books over the top of it, and then wait overnight and come back the next morning and finish it off. And you'll kind of see what I'm doing. See, I'm just stacking some books. And then this is the part where it's like finally coming together, the little final touches, the final, clean off everything, get it all separated. Look at that. It's worked. It worked. Yay. And here's a quick little shout out as soon as I get done with this. So take note of the artists and the collaboration. Those are the two people that worked on it. Cool. And here I am buttoning it up, attaching the final product to the mat, and then I'm about to frame it and call it done. And this is the part where it gets really fun and just enjoyable, and like the downward climb. And here it is. Here's the end result. Here's the reveal. And there it is. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm quite satisfied with what it is. Just like that, my first collaboration piece is finished. It's finished. Cool, right? It's so cool. This is what I was talking about whenever I reached out to people on the internet, whenever I reached out to people on YouTube, and I'll have the video somewhere popping up, somewhere in the video somewhere, I'm not sure. But this is so cool. And this is part one. This is part one. Part two is here. I'll be doing this one later at a later date, later video. But man, this is so cool. I want to do this more. And actually through this project, I set up an inspiration, a goal of mine. And so for 2020, the year 2020, I want to collaborate with 15 artists. 15 artists, I want to collaborate with people. So, hey, let me know. Like this is my first one, and this will be my second one. Who knows, man? This goal of mine, hopefully something good comes of it. So let me know if you liked the video. Like, subscribe, do all the cool stuff. Find me on Instagram, find me on Twitch, find me on TikTok now, on Twitter, on all the cool social media stuff. So check it out, man. I hope you enjoy. Peace. See you later.